Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. So sorry I've been a little bit behind. Our internet went down and I have Google Fiber. They upgraded their service and you know, they said plug and play. They said it'll be easy. Oh no, we had to have a truck roll. So they're supposed to be coming this afternoon. Hopefully I can get this video done and uploaded by this evening because my goal is to have one once a week by Wednesday. So you'll excuse the noise, but I have my window open, and what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be making wood paper. Okay, and with several different colors. I have a lot of different samples here for you. This one was weathered wood. This one is also weathered wood. Barn door. Brushed corduroy and walnut stain, black soot, and texture paste. Can you see the texture in there? All I did was just paint the texture paste on with a paintbrush and it gave it that kind of wood grain effect. This one, I accidentally put grit paste, but it's still kind of cool. This is just a sample of a kind of wood with the torn wallpaper. This one has little spaces in it, so that's brushed corduroy, walnut stain, and black soot. And this one, I cut a little mask to make a hole in the wall. This one uses peeled paint and shabby shutters and black soot. Hickory smoke and black soot. So the color possibilities are endless. This one uses ground espresso and black soot and some white. And this one is aged mahogany with some black soot and white pigment. And these are a couple of samples I messed up just to show you that people mess up. Oops. I was trying to create a shadow here and I was doing a sloppy job of it. So that's those, and I'll show you what I made with them. Just, you know, kind of an example. Look, card that says hi. Then you open it up, and it's got all these little goodies inside. So it's kind of hard to see. It would sit flat on the desk like this in a perfect world. And then inside I've got layered up little acetate mason jars, some flowers, and the little wall behind. Little sentiment, always look for the sunny side. Anyway, those are fun, and I'll link to Jennifer McGuire's video on how to make these because they're a lot of fun. I've made several of them so far. But anyway, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get started. You're gonna need a pencil and a ruler. And now I use this ruler, and I also like to use one of my quilting rulers because I like the 1/4 inch mark for when I'm doing the closer slats. You're going to need your various Oxide inks. You're going to need a brush or two, depending on the color, accent color that you add. And you're going to need your blending foams. So I've got pretty much my color range here. I just get this from Walmart, and then I just take the little dollar store Velcro things and stick them to these and then stick them on. It's just kind of handy to have. You're going to need your fingers, and you will get dirty doing this. I guarantee you that. And you're going to need your paper and whatever size you're going to use. I'm using 4.5 by 5.25. No, 5.5 by 4.25. And so what you're going to do first is you're going to make the lines. Now, in thinking about the lines, you want to think about the color range you're going to use because that's going to determine how heavy you make your lines. And you can use several different types of pencils. Here I've got a mechanical. This is a General's layout pencil. I've got some of these Spectrum Noir color tint pencils, which, if you can ever get them open, they're all basically gray with just a slight tint to them. And I'm gonna get started doing, let's do the brushed corduroy today. And I'm gonna go ahead and do a wide lined one, and I think I wanna go horizontal. And don't worry if you get your paper dirty, you want that. This isn't horizontal, this is vertical. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line up my ruler, and I want my lines to be from here to here. And I wanna make sure it's straight across on these top edge lines. You see those top edge lines? And I'm just gonna start making my lines and getting my other stuff out of the way. And again, just want to make sure you're lining up the top and bottom edges as well with the top and bottom of the card. You can see I messed up my ruler right there, and that's okay. I was cutting something on the wrong side, a little goober on there. Again, just making sure these are lined up. Make my line. Line it up, make my line, and one more. And these make really cool backgrounds, or even like matte layers. I see Tracy Schultz using a lot of wood grain for matte layers. Okay, here comes the getting dirty part. You need to rub these lines. And you see how it's getting funky there? That's good, that's what you want. Like I said, the dirtier you get them, the more you get a grain type 3D picture of your wood. And sometimes I take my sweaty hand and do it. I don't know why my left hand sweats more than my right. And my fan just came on automatically. I apologize for that. Okay, there's that part. Now I'm going to take my blending foam, and I'm going to be using the brushed corduroy. Where'd my brushed corduroy go? Well, I'll just grab this one. This is not brushed corduroy, but it'll still work. And I'm going to take my little grippy pad here, because it holds it. And what you want to do, you want to get your foam blender nice and wet, and you want to take and start here and streak down, and then streak back. Streak down, streak back. Streak down, streak back. Pressing pretty hard. If you're heavy-handed, you're going to love this method. Streak down, streak back. And flip it over. I'm not going to worry if I get fingerprints on it. Streak down, going to streak back. Streak down, streak back. Streak down, streak back. See how it gives a kind of a wood grain texture when you do it that way? Now we're gonna kick it up a notch here. Clean up my corduroy, and the back of my paper is gonna get messy. And I'm gonna go in with walnut stain for my dark portions. And for that, I want to use a brush. And I'm going to get my brush nice and wet. I'm going to press pretty hard on the glass, and I'm just going to drag and drag, drag and drag. See how it's getting that kind of texture on it? Drag and drag, drag, drag. The harder you press, it just makes lines. It's kind of cool. And it's okay if you get these bumpity bumps, because that's what wood looks like. Okay, pretty simple. And I like to take my little pad again, and just on the edge, here and there, just make because if you push down on the edge, it makes a line. Okay, there you have it. And then if you want to take it up one more notch, I'm going to get a piece of scrap paper. Let me just cut this off a little because I used a different color on it. And you can take your darker color and you just run the edge of the paper along it, like yay, and tap. Tap here and there. Try and get them straight, which is not anything I'm ever able to do. You can make more or less, whatever you like, and just kind of blend it in there. That's how easy it is to get a faux wood grain paper. You want it a little darker, you want to go in with your, lost my black soot, and your brush. And again, you want to go along with the grain of the wood, start way back here, and just drag, drag, drag. Well, I got that one a little heavy. That's okay. There we go. Now, what you can do is, at this point, you could add texture to it with a texture paste of your choice and a brush. Or you could coat it with distress glaze. I believe I did that on one of these. Yeah, this one, see, this is the same color range, but I did coat it with distress glaze, so it did bring out a little bit more of the color in it, and it also protects it in case I got it wet trying to stamp it. Now, when you're thinking about this, you want to consider what you want your slats to look like, because you might just want them to be very thin, or you might want them to be quite wide, as in the, well, the barn door is not really that wide, but as you can see in this one. So my slats are quite narrow and they're light because I used a light hand to draw the lines. So you just need to think about how you want your wood to look. And this one, I believe I used a gray pencil, but let's see here. Hickory smoke, black soot. Again, you can use any color combination that you want. I mean, it's your wood, right? You could use and I didn't do any samples with antique linen, but that would be a nice light colored wood. The barn door, and with the barn door, this one, you can get it as rustic looking as you want to, just depending on how much black you add. But you'll see that I've got a lot of those black streaks in this one. You could even make some spare boards on a longer piece and crisscross them over to make it look like a barn door. Lots of things you can do with that. For this one, what I did was I drew the lines, and I used my, I did use my Tim Holtz ruler, and I actually made a mask, and I'll go ahead and demo how I did that so that you have an idea. I won't do the whole one because I don't want to take your whole day up. But I took my ruler, and I'm going to grab a different pencil here. That pencil's getting kind of fat. I need to sharpen it. I don't own a pencil sharpener, I don't think. I know that's crazy. Let's see how this is kind of a charcoal pencil. Oh, it rubs out nice. We'll try it. So I started at 3/4 of an inch. I don't think that's really going to work out real well. And then I just moved this tiny little line up one. This little space right here. Ugh, crazy thing. Oh yeah, I like the way that charcoal works. A little dark though. Sorry about that. And make sure everything's lined up. Draw my line. Scooch this up a little bit. And draw my line. I really need to get that off of there. It's really messing up my lines. want to keep your smudges towards the center. I'll do one more. Let me get my ruler straightened out here. Line it up. Draw my line. Line up this little itty bitty. It's just a tiny, it's not even, well, it's probably about 1/8 of an inch. Those are way crooked, so you want to be more careful. And just in the interest of time, I'm doing it this way. And then I used just another piece of scrap paper and my mint tape, and I'm going to take and tape off just beyond the line because I want them to kind of blend. And then we'll go in with we don't want hickory smoke. Well, let's go in with the make up our mind here. We'll go in with the ground espresso. My ground espresso. And for the first one, I don't need this mask. And I'm just gonna, same procedure. I need to re-ink my ground espresso. Okay. We've got that line going. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna cover here. And see, you can see a bit of my line. You want to be able to see that. And I'll just take this piece of scrap paper, straight edge part of it, and hold it here. Okay. Wow, that's so crooked. The story of my life. Just mainly just hoping you get the idea of what you're supposed to be doing here. Again, I'm using a very heavy hand. Okay. So then you want to do your dark lines. I want this to go over the line. Turn my paper, use this one on the straight edge, and I believe I'll use some black soot with that. I'm going to use my brush. I want it pretty dark. Now I've got my kind of slats, and you could, in reality, if you wanted to be real creative, you could make it blue as if you're looking through a fence at blue sky or green grass or whatever. And you can make your slats as big or as small. It's, ruler dependent. See, now you get the kind of slatted look. I'll go ahead and do one more just because I can. Heavy hand. Okay. And then same procedure to get your texture on there. And take your black soot. And mostly I use black soot for it. And just start up here and streak across. Start up here, streak across. Start up here, streak across. Flip it over. The more you streak across there, the more texture it creates. You see that? See that texture? Looks like wood. Yeah, except my slats don't look that great. I don't think charcoal pencil, but that's how you get slats. Let's see, did I miss anything? Okay. You can get real crazy with these too. This one, peeled paint and shabby shutters. I just love that. You know, could be a green door on something. This one here. Okay. So what I did, where'd my mask go? Oh, I just took another piece of paper about the same size, and I made a shape. I drew a shape, and then I cut it out. Okay, and so I took the main portion of the shape, and I kind of taped it on there with some of my mint tape rolled up, and then drew my lines, and then did my coloring. And then I took that off of there and used this with a brick stencil to stencil in the brick. Now what you see in here is a whole lot of detail work, and I usually do my detail work with my Caran d'Ache crayons, Caran d'Ache, however you say it. I use the black crayon on this to kind of get the shadows, and see, lots of rubbing. You get very dirty using these, and I love them. I love how they rub out, and then you get that shadow detail in there. These are also water reactive, and I also hand drew in between the bricks, so to give it some more dimension. But you know, that's just my weird stuff that I like to do. Most people just want their wood to be normal. Me, no normal wood for me. Anyway, that's what I have for you today, and I hope you go out there and make a lot of wood backgrounds. If you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button and the notification button. And I thank you so much. I hope you have an awesome day. Bye-bye.